But let's shift gears and bring you this incredibly troubling story now. Gauteng Education MEC Matome Chiloane expressing shock over the deaths of 4 pupils from Eqinisweni Secondary School in Ivory Park who are said to have all died by suicide. The pupils apparently drank poison while at home between the 26th of April and just this past Sunday. The latest incident involved a girl in matric who died while being transported to a nearby clinic. For more on this, let's bring in Gauteng Education Spokesperson Steve Mabona live to us here on Studio 9 at Auckland Park. Great to see you, sir, albeit under these circumstances. And I'm finding that I'm saying this a whole lot more often than I ever used to since starting here. What happened?
It's quite sad, and this brings us to our emphasis or re-emphasis of saying, as parents, we need to be, hands-on when you check on the, ill discipline that we are experiencing in and around our schools. We need to be, parenting. If children have challenges, we need to guide them. We are partnering Childline, we dial 116, and if you have challenges, whether it's psycho, whether it's mental, we should be in a position to be attended. I mean, all this happened at home. So our interaction with all families, we are hoping that we'll get clarity on the reasons why learners decided to take their lives.
It's 4 pupils in less than a month, which is incredibly alarming at the very least. Do you know if there's any connection between them outside of them going to the same school?
That's what we want to discover when we interact with the families, because probably they will have, indicated something to them. Some, they will leave letters. So we are not sure on what sparked this. But we are taking a decision to do a roadshow, working very closely with SADC, as we did previously in the area of Tsakane, where we experienced suicide cases. And, after our intervention there, at least, we experienced the lower incidences, whether it's violence or suicide cases. So we're going to engage and make sure that we visit, Ivory Park and make sure that at least we intervene.
Yeah, there's going to be obvious questions about what on earth is taking place at that school. I'm sure that's among the questions you asked yourselves as officials after learning about what happened. What have you been able to ascertain, at least about how the school functions, its performance maybe? Is it well capacitated to be able to support pupils who might be struggling?
No, well, in Ivory Park is our high pressure area. Most of our schools there, they are, overcapacitated. Because of obvious reasons. I mean, that almost everyone wants to come to our schools because of different reasons. People lost jobs, some they can't afford private schools and all those. So we are highly pressured, but the school is functioning very well. But when we conduct any investigation, we then zoom into the governance, issues, whether do we have any ill discipline, is there any pattern of bullying amongst, themselves. I'm talking about the learners, or is there anything that we need to look at? So we've started that investigation. It will assist us on the way forward.
How did the department learn about what took place, Steve?
Look, the first incident, the one that happened on the 26th, actually, we were concerned because the learner was not coming to school. And we had to send our officials, because before we deregister you, you must understand, maybe you might have relocated and all that. And when officials arrived there, they were told that the child passed on and was already buried. So, and the other cases, then they were reported to the school, and we had to then, look at this and collate the information and say, what do we do? We need to then support all the, families, the school itself. Our psycho support team is starting there today, this morning. And they'll move into the families as well, just to give them the support, because that we need to prepare for memorial services.
Right.
Talking 4 learners, well, it will be 3 because the other one has been buried. But in the memorial, they have to accommodate, because the memorial service, you celebrate the life of of a human being.
Sure, of a child, quite frankly, and incidences that shouldn't be taking place. In the latest, we're told that it was a matric pupil. Are they all around the same age?
Yeah, the other one is grade 9, okay. You have a grade 10, you have 11, and you have a 12.
Sure.
So you can understand that the entire school is affected, because if grade 9 learners, they will probably relate one with the other, with the one, and all of those. So the entire school will need really support.
Yeah. You know, many people who are watching, of course, and are keeping tallies will be able to count just how many lives have been lost for Gauteng education just this year alone. And we're only still in the beginning of May. This must be concerning to you and officials of the department because if memory serves, I don't remember us ever being in a situation like this before.
No, it's quite concerning, and more so that we're even losing teachers.
Yeah.
I mean, on Sunday, we received a report that there's a teacher that has been missing. She was found actually, killed in a dam in Silibeng area. 2 weeks ago, one educator from the same school was shot. And you can understand now the school losing 2 teachers within a period of a month. So it's quite depressing. But we call upon the law enforcement agencies to work very closely with those that might know on who is doing this, because it really is quite concerning.
Yeah. Moss, I have you here. I might as well engage you around the situation at Glen Vista. I have no doubt you're aware of that as well. Shocking scenes of literally pupils and a teacher exchanging blows using chairs and tables. By now, I'm sure you must have asked a few questions about what's taken place there. Where's the teacher at the moment? And what's the situation insofar as that case is concerned?
We have launched an investigation into that matter. Well, as we might have seen, that chairs were thrown around, so the teacher was booked off after consulting with the doctor. But the investigation has been launched. A disciplinary matter will be put on the table for a learner, and our labor section will then be working very closely with the school to make sure that we understand on the teacher conduct as well. I mean, we have ethics, we have codes,
right.
As public servants, we know how we must behave. Learners, there's a code of conduct which has been crafted by parents. They know how to behave in a school environment. So we want to call upon parents to work very closely with us. Let's instill discipline in our children. I mean, irrespective of a reason or what transpired, there's no justification for a child to fight with a teacher. More so the teacher as well, there's no justification to fight with the learner. I mean, school is a developmental place. I mean, we develop, we nurture, talent. We are building the nation, through the development that we're instilling in our children.
Yeah.
So we can't have a school where we're going to be having a violent behavior among our employees and the learners.
One thing I will say about something like that is that it doesn't develop overnight. There's a very gradual, sometimes sustained momentum before it gets to the point where, literally pupils and teachers are exchanging blows like that. Has that particular school been a school with issues in the past, especially when it comes to how teachers are relating to some pupils?
Now, we've learned that there might be a challenge with the SGB. There's lack of governance. And we said in our investigation, we must then determine whether we're going to recommend, dissolving the SGB and start afresh, or we need to empower them with the training. Because the previous Saturday, MEC was we're inducting the new cohort of SGB. We emphasize on ill-discipline. Learners must be disciplined. The governance, school must be run, professionally. Curriculum must be delivered. A school must perform, must develop. So we're going to look at all those elements at that school, and we really need to intervene and make sure that everyone is satisfied, because there are so many incidences that now, after this case had been reported to us, to say this happened and
that same school.
Happened, the same school. So there's governance issues that we need to attend to.
Sure. You've got your work cut out for you. Steve Mabona, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. Really do appreciate it. Steve Mabona, of course, is the Basic Education Spokesperson in Gauteng, the Basic Education Department spokesperson, speaking to us about 2 major incidents, 4 learners taking their own lives at Eqinisweni Secondary School in Ivory Park, and of course those shocking scenes that were unfolding at Glen Vista High, where we saw teachers and pupils exchanging blows.